Hi there, my name is Graham McPhee. I'm based in the Department of Social Work and Social Policy at the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland, and I am the programme lead on the MSc Child and Youth Care Studies by Distance Learning, and that's what I'm going to be talking about within this presentation. So the programme is fully online, so it's accessible to anybody, anywhere in the world, as long obviously as you've got the ability to hook into things online. It's a part-time delivery, it's aimed at practitioners, and I'll speak about that a little more in some slides to come. It was developed, the programme has been running since 2014 now, developed in partnership with CELSIS. CELSIS is the Centre for Excellence for Children's Care and Protection. It's based at the University of Strathclyde as well. And the entire programme, it draws on a range of different interdisciplinary approaches, developing theory and theory-informed practice to develop and build expertise in child and youth care. So, why might you choose this programme? Well, as I mentioned on the previous slide, it integrates knowledge from a range of different disciplines. First and foremost, child and youth care, pretty obviously by the name of the programme, but we by no means only talk about child and youth care. Where relevant, we draw on social pedagogy, sociology, psychology, health, education, social work, social policy, a range of kind of different sources of information, and trying to think about children and the practice of child and youth care in the kind of wider social and political context and how they affect children and youth. And obviously that varies quite considerably across different parts of the world. But regardless of that context, one of the main themes that runs throughout the programme is the focus on relational practice, critical reflection, and how that adds up into professional identity and the development of professional identity. And I can't stress enough that focus on relational practice and critical reflection. They will be themes that populate learning right across the course, some more so in some modules than others. So, in terms of if you choose to study with us, what you will actually undertake, and there are 6 core compulsory modules which are followed by your research project, your dissertation. And I've got these listed on the slides here, and you can see some numbers after the module names, and they indicate the year in which you would take these classes. And you'll see that we've got 1, 2, and then 2/3. So let me mention that this is a part-time programme. As I say, it's aimed at practitioners, people already in the field. And as a part-time programme, you can choose to do it either over 2 or 3 years. So you can see that in the first year, the curriculum is set. You do the first 3 modules and nothing else. So you do theoretical and policy context, child development in the life space, and then critical reflection and relational practice. When you move into year 2, you've got a choice. You're going to do your 3 core modules, compulsory modules: research methods, management and leadership, followed by interventions. The choice you've got is your research project, your dissertation. You can either choose to do that in year 2 alongside those core compulsory modules, or you can wait and choose to do it in 3rd year. The vast majority of students choose to do it in 3rd year, and part of the reason for that is obviously all students are part-time and they are combining their studies with work and life. And the way that years 1 and years 2 work is that you do one module at a time. So in year 1, you do theoretical and policy context, you attend it, you complete the assessment, and then you move on to the next module. And you do the same with child development in the life space, and then you move on to the next module, critical reflection and relational practice. And the same happens in year 2 with those core modules. So we're never asking you to combine 2 modules at once. And part of the reason for that is because you're not a full-time student. You're combining your studies with work and life. So if you want to keep going with that pattern, the vast majority of students choose to wait and do their dissertation in third year, because that way they're not having to combine their dissertation with their year 2 modules. So it is an option that's open to students. You don't have to indicate at the beginning of the course what you want to do. It's really only when you get into the start of year 2 that you need to think about that, and that is something that we'll talk about towards the end of year 1. The other thing I should stress is, regardless of what choice you make, it makes no difference to your tuition fees. You pay all your tuition fees in the first 2 years, and then you study thereafter whatever is required. So, in terms of what does online learning look like, and what will it involve if you become a student with us? Well, there are weekly live online sessions where we talk about the material on a weekly basis. So there's one class every week. It typically lasts for 90 minutes. It's in the evening UK time, so it's typically about don't say exact times because it sometimes varies from year to year, but it's in the region of between 7 PM and 9 PM. That's Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. So depending on where you are in the world, you've got to think about kind of how that fits with time zones. All the live sessions are recorded, and we encourage all students to attend all the live sessions that they can. But if you can't attend a live session, is recorded, and the expectation is that you watch the recording and catch up with things that way. So there's one 90-minute class a week. That's the only thing that happens in real time. Everything else is accessible to you, and you can engage with that round about work and life. And the weekly material will involve directed reading, podcasts for you to watch and listen to, and then there are required weekly forums. And the module material, beyond the reading which you get up front, the module material opens up on a week-by-week basis, and you need to require certain tasks to allow you to move on to the next week. And every week the requirement is that you're applying the material back to your current work context. So all the material that we're engaging with on a week-by-week basis, it's all about thinking about how does this apply back to your workplace. So in terms of entry requirements, I've mentioned a lot about this is aimed at practitioners. So there's both academic requirements and then practice requirements. So to be eligible to come to the course, you require either a first degree or a relevant professional qualification, or a combination of qualifications that's going to demonstrate your ability to study at postgraduate level. Second bullet point in this slide is really crucial. You also require to be in a setting that's relevant, because I say that it's about constantly reflecting the material back on your practice, to your workplace, to the children and young people that you're working with. So it is not suitable for anybody who doesn't have that experience, and evidence in this requirement as part of the application process. So in terms of when we talk about career paths in this programme, it's slightly different to other degrees, because everybody who's already on the course is already in the sector in some way. But by pulling all the material together and evidencing your ability to study at master's level, what we find is that in over the 10 plus years that the course has been running, that the course acts as a springboard for career progression for many students, either within their organisations or within the sector, and it allows you to demonstrate that ability to think and study about child and youth care at that increased level. I guess another thing that's important to mention within this, the programme is accredited in Canada. So it is accredited and recognised by the Child and Youth Care Educational Accreditation Board of Canada. So if you're a student who is based in Canada and thinking about studying with us, then that has obviously got a relevance for you. So finally, if you're interested in finding out more information about the programme, or indeed applying, then the way to do that in the first instance is via the university website. If you go to the course page, and you can see the link here on the slide, and that will give you more information about the course. A lot of it I've covered in this presentation, but there's the chance to see that, to read that, and the online link for starting an application is there also. You can see my my email address on the slide there as well. So again, if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me. So thanks very much for taking the time to listen. Thank you.